Or what's poppin'? Welcome back to Midwest World. It's the Tubecast. Make sure you like, subscribe to the content. Greatly appreciated from everybody. You know what I mean? Look here, man. What we doing with other Tubecasts is just, we talking game and stuff like always, but it's kind of like almost like a pilot. You know what I mean? I'm thinking of doing launching something in the fall, so we gonna see how it go. But I don't want to say what it is yet because I gotta make sure I gotta make sure everything go right before I even try to do it. But this is just on some like test stuff. But it don't matter. You know what I mean? We here now. Listen, Kyrie versus Allen Iverson. Now I know this topic tugs at the heartstrings of AI fans because AI, look. Allen Iverson, dedicated fan base, he should have one. Allen Iverson is fire. He had a lot of flaws in this game too, but he was fire. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to play these games, man. He shot a terrible percentage, you know what I mean? All kind of stuff, took a bunch of bad shots, all that, you know what I mean? So, AI, he cold-blooded. And this the thing, right? His claim to fame really, listen, Allen Iverson is great, all-world, Hall of Fame, but he went to the finals once, and after that, no more, right? No more. Kyrie. Now, I know there was a thing with Kyrie when he was on this whatever type tip he was on, and it's a lot of bad press about him, but forget the personal stuff because both of them had negative things circling around their name. So it is what it is. We're not going to play these games, but as far as on the court, basketball skill-wise, playing the game of basketball, not who you like personally more or who you resonate with personally, who plays basketball better. That'd be Kyrie Irving, man. Yeah, Kyrie. I think if you watch basketball and know what you're looking at, Kyrie Irving plays basketball better than the answer. That don't take away nothing from the answer. That takes away nothing from the answer. But Kyrie pretty much does everything better than him. Sorry, it is what it is. He finishes better than him. He shoots better than him. He handles better than him. Now let me take that. Well, defense, I don't know, because AI, he wasn't a lockdown defender. He was good at getting steals. Just because you can get steals, that don't mean you lock down. Because you can have fast hands. You just don't want to dribble. You don't want to put the ball on the floor around them. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to approach like a defender like that. There's ways to handle a defender like that, but you can't be dribbling too much because it gets stolen. Or, you got to keep your head on the swivel where he at because he can intercept the pass. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, AI, he was serviceable on defense. He grabbed steals. He had quick hands, but, he wasn't no lockdown defender. It's kind of like Muggsy Bogues, lightly, kind of. Because Muggsy Bogues, you didn't want to dribble around no Muggsy Bogues. You're getting it stolen from, but you could cook Muggsy Bogues if you attack him a certain way, though, because of his size. Same thing with Allen Iverson. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? You can't help your size, right? But if we looking at this Kyrie, man, he's better than Allen Iverson, man. Like, seriously. You can like AI more all you want. That's fine. You can personally like him more, but, just look at some footage. Look at the entire game, not just like highlights, you know what I mean? Look at the entire game. Now, AI plays hard. You can't, hard, yes, you know what I'm saying? He got in his chest, but Kyrie do too. He do too. Kyrie is cold-blooded. He got one of the best, styles of play. His game is like art almost. You can't really say that about Allen Iverson. Yes, when it comes to the crossover, right? Because everybody say he like the Lord of the crossover, the guy of the crossover, but forget a name like Tim Hardaway, right? Or even like a guy like Isaiah Thomas, right? You know what I'm saying? AI put style into the crossover, right? But it don't look like no Kyrie. It don't look like Kyrie. Now, AI don't have one crossover that look better than Kyrie's, man. Not one. Okay? He got that classic, rock you from the left to the right or the right to the left cross, cold-blooded. But Kyrie can do that and some. You can't say he shoot better than him. Kyrie can shoot from the mid-range better. He can shoot from the three better. And Kyrie can kind of take, And then I'm not going to say he got a crazy post game because he don't. He has dope footwork. But Kyrie finishes, he's an elite finisher against all size players. Now, AI can finish too. But Kyrie has more ways he can finish. You see what I'm saying? Kyrie is just, he's one of the best basketball players I've ever seen play basketball as far as style goes. Now, and he's been to the finals twice. And you can argue, if it wasn't for that shot with Cleveland, they wouldn't have won that series. He got one of the better. I'm not going to say, some people will say, oh, that's one of the greatest shots in NBA finals history. I'm not going to say that. I got to look at that first. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to automatically assume that, but that is a code. That's definitely a moment. Once Kyrie going on Hall of Fame, that's going to be one of his top moments, if not the top moment. You know what I'm saying? It looked dope. You know what I mean? Kyrie is just, he's a cold basketball player. Take all because when it comes to sports, it seems like the fans get personally invested in it on some and I get it. You know what I mean? You look at it, when it comes to college football, it's bad with college football. You know what I mean? Just, they get personally invested on some personal stuff. And it's just, at the end of the day, it's just a game. It's just a sport. You can like who you like, but it's nothing personal. It's just whatever. You know what I mean? So it happens like that when it comes to players. You got fans who will take it personally and be ready to hurt somebody over an opinion. It's like, yo, dog, look, this is just an opinion. This is just a sport. This is just a sport. This person don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Why you going hard like that? But if we looking at the game objectively, Kyrie is a better basketball player overall than Allen Iverson. The only thing he probably does better, the only thing AI probably does better is steal the ball. That's probably the only thing that he does better than Kyrie. But I'm trying to think about maybe, and he's probably faster. He's faster than Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? But speed with basketball means something to a certain degree. To a certain degree, it means something. But look at a guy like Luka, slow motion, cooking you with slow motion. You know what I mean? There's certain moves you have, there's a certain bag that you have that speed does not matter. It's all about the hezzies. It's all about the footwork. It's all about all that, because you can be fast all you want. That's probably easier to guard than somebody with a bag of moves that could get to where, because, when you a pro, pros get to wherever they got to go. No matter what, no matter the speed. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be fast. You know what I mean? There's, when it comes to basketball and when you a pro, you got to understand angles and all kind of stuff. Certain angles, all that. You know what I mean? Faking the opponent this way and then hitting a little burst of speed. You don't have to be just up and down fast like that. That's not, it's your fundamentals got to mean something. And that's where people sleep on Kyrie's fundamentals. I tell anybody, when I tell kids and stuff, it's like, listen, you want to dribble like Steph, you want to dribble like Kyrie, you want to dribble like AI and all these guys. If you look at them, they have fundamentals first. Don't look at, and because you can look at something like and one, right? They carried a lot, you know what I'm saying? A whole lot. But in the pros, in order to even get that far, you got to have fundamentals first. You're not going on no basketball team with no fundamentals. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen unless you're a big man who's athletic that kind of get away with not having that many fundamentals like that. Just here, throw it to him down low, one dribble rise. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But as a point guard and a two guard and even a three, you need fundamentals. Literally, you need them. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to survive without them. So what they did was master the fundamentals and then added to it and put their own twist to it. It's rules to the game that you follow, and then you can develop your own style. It's like a job. You know what I'm saying? When you go to a job and they hire you, you go through training. If they train you the right way, they train you the basics. At that point, then you figure out how you gonna do this job efficiently. And everybody got their own style. So the same thing with a professional sport. Learn the rules, learn the basics first that you learned back when you were a kid, you know what I'm saying? Pee Wee leagues and all that type of stuff, you know what I mean? Then you start incorporating your own style, right? So all that is Kyrie and them got the fundamentals down and then implement their own twist stuff, you know what I mean? That's what that is, Some are better than others at that. But Kyrie, overall, is better than Allen Iverson. And that's not no knock to the answer. The answer is official. The answer is official. You know what I'm saying? He is official. It's just, players evolve sometimes. You can like Carmelo's my favorite player of all time. I know he's not the greatest basketball player of all time. I know that. I know he's not better than LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? I know that. I mean, I'm aware. I would never argue something like that. But the way Carmelo's style is, I'm going to always roll with Carmelo. This is about how I'm going to build my team around him. It's a lot of ways to win. You don't have to have just one particular type of player to win. You can win different styles. You know what I'm saying? It's just about, how you build that team with that style and the type of players you have. So if I got Melo, I'm going to have some dogs around him on some defense. I'm going to have me a point guard that's running the offense. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. I mean, first of all, my squad is going to be defensive first because Melo don't play defense. That's just what it is. I got to have everybody playing defense from the 1, 2, 4, and the 5. I mean, Melo got to try, you know what I'm saying? But, I'm going to have some straight defensive first guys surrounding him. You know what I'm saying? Just so it can kind of buffer his lack of defense. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about the scoring. As far as the 2 guard, I have me a dog 2. But my point guard, he's going to be distributing, getting everybody in their spots. I'm going to have me a 4 that, like I said, play defense, we can hit the elbow, rebound. He can do a mix of everything. And my center, I'm going to do everything I can to find me a dog down low. You know what I'm saying? Get out, make sure you patrol enough to not get your 3 seconds in the key, but I need my dog to be down there, back to the basket, getting busy, grabbing all the grabbing all the rebounds, you know what I mean? And trying to grab all the rebounds, getting a lot of second chance points, tip ins, just a brute force down there. That's the type of team I would have and mimic that with the guys coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? That's how I will build my team around a Carmelo Anthony. I'm confident I will go against any team with that. I will go against any team like that. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just what it is. But, Kyrie, I just think Kyrie, if you could think of, I'm quite sure there's going to be some cats whenever this video starts picking up, putting paragraphs about how much Allen Iverson is better than Kyrie Irving. And that's fine. That's what I want. I want dialogue. But, I don't know about that, though. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know about that if you watch the game. I can't honestly say that, I can't truthfully say that, AI is better than Kyrie in any categories except steals and speed. That's it. You know what I mean? What you gonna say? Leadership? How cold was Kyrie as a leader? Really? Like how cold? He had Larry Brown as his coach. You know what I'm saying? Larry Brown is one of the great coaches of all time. We're not even gonna play these games, not even a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie, he had Brian with him, so he didn't have to be the leader. You know what I'm saying? And then when he went to the finals with Luka, he had Jason Kidd as his coach. You know what I'm saying? So neither one of these players is elite leaders. Okay, we're not even gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that at all. You know what I mean? So they're probably in the same class as far as leadership goes. And listen, a lot of people like to talk leadership in basketball. Everybody don't have to be a leader. That's what the coach is for anyway. What's the coach there for? He's really supposed to be the leader. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to implement the game plan. The player's supposed to follow suit. Now, you got certain type of players that come in there, and switch things up because they elite like that. But, you need the coach is there for a reason. The coach is there for a reason to have the game plan, to make sure everybody in their spots, to know who was good at what and extract that from them. You know what I'm saying? Not every player is a good leader. You know what I'm saying? You could debate if Michael Jordan was a good leader. The stuff he was doing, you could debate that. You know what I mean? Like, just because he was cold like that don't mean he was a good leader. He had Phil Jackson as a head coach. Okay? Same thing with Shaq and Kobe. Phil Jackson as a head coach. And you look at the coaches that these players had that won championships outside of a guy like Bron and them. But then again, Ty Lue, a co-leader. You know, your coach means something. So all that leader talk, you know what I mean? I hear you, I get it, but you got to have a competent coach on the sideline to draw things in and put egos in check. You have to have that. You have to. You know what I'm saying? So every part is key to the engine. Every part is key. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. If you're missing one, it won't run right. It's just that simple, or it won't run at all. Okay? So all that leader talk, I get it, because, you know, people like to sway, it's all a part of debate. They like to use certain things to try to sway the argument to their side. And I get it, but, you know, it's just what it is, man. We're not going to leadership, all that, you know, they talk about, oh, Jordan was fierce. He had Phil Jackson, man. He had Phil Jackson, all right? Like, I mean, the triangle and eye, come on, man. Like, you know what I mean? Phil Jackson is one of the greatest coaches of all time. Now, that could be debated, you know what I'm saying, if he is the greatest, but he's one of the best. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the best. You know, nobody really wins championships with a bad coach. It's not often that happens. You know what I mean? It's just what it is, you know? You look at it, even look at a coach like Mike Malone. They talk about his tactics. He won a championship. You know what I'm saying? Mike Malone's a dope coach. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. You got to have a great coach, or at least a good coach, a very good coach to win a championship. My man's can't be an airhead on the sideline. I mean, it's what, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you miss me with the leader talk, because it's not many great leaders as players. Not many. You know what I'm saying? You got some that's great leaders, but it's not a big old list of them that's just leading the squad, and you know what I mean? Nah. We ain't doing that. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? Because if you leave them to their devices, the teammates that hate them and not want to play for them because they tactics. You know what I mean? Because of their tactics. You know? I heard Broussard say this. I forgot, he said this a couple years ago, and now I'm paraphrasing. But Bill Cartwright threatened to break Michael Jordan's legs if he told him not to pass him the ball again. That's good leadership. You know what I'm saying? That's good leadership to you. You know what I mean? Well, what was the situation where they was on a plane and allegedly Jordan telling folks not to, you know, telling the stewardess not to serve certain players no food. Look here, man. We ain't doing that. Oh no, man, listen. We grown men at the end of the day, and that's just the thing, man. You know, when it comes to the players and the leadership, you not God. You know what I'm saying? You a basketball player. We both wearing the same jersey. You cold? Like, this the thing. Playing basketball, like, I done played with some nice dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was good at the mid-range. I knew my role. There was times where I was the best player on the team. There was times I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And I could recognize when I wasn't. But you're not about to disrespect me because you're good at basketball. And that's just what it is. We gon' draw the line right there. You not gonna disrespect me because you're good at basketball. You know what I mean? And we just gonna leave it at that, fam. You know what I mean? So all that talking like you God and all that because you nice? No. We on the same team. My job is to help win. And if you the best player, I have no ego when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna do what I can to make sure you get yours. You know what I'm saying? For sure. You know what I mean? We a team out here. We supposed to be brothers out here going to war. That's what it means. That's what it is. I'm not competing against you. I'm here to help you win. You know what I'm saying? So you're not about to be violating me because you nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not doing that. Because we grown men at the end of the day. So all that, you know, a lot of these dudes be bad leaders, man. And you know, they think they can get away with certain tactics because they're good at what they do. You know, that don't give you the right to talk down. That don't give you the right to be talking crazy. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody put hands on you in practice, then they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And listen, fighting happens. You know what I'm saying? A lot. You know what I mean? In practice. Basketball, just as much as football. You would think that it happens more in football, but it's a lot of fighting that happens in practice in basketball just because of egos, man. Just because of egos. I done seen people, you know, talk trash and get humbled real fast by the guy that wasn't the best player on the team. You know what I mean? I done seen it happen. The best player on the team talking reckless, and then he got hands put on him. And the only punishment with that was suicides. You know what I'm saying? The only punishment the coach gave everybody was suicides. You know, sometimes the coaches be encouraging the players to work it out like that. Like, hey man, whatever happens in practice, stay in practice. It don't leave. You know, and it happens like that. You know, some football coaches like to see that aggression with their players because that means they're trying. You see, so you know, I get it. I'm not against fighting in practice. I'm against, you know, it leaving the practice facility. You know what I'm saying? Whatever happens there, stay there when it comes to altercations with your teammates. You know, we can get into it here, but once we leave here, we brothers. We brothers, period. But once we leave practice, we riding together. We not against each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a strong team unit should be. It's okay to argue. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of different dudes from different places grouped together on one team. You know what I mean? That's not. Everybody's not going to agree, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to agree. Everybody's not going to like each other personally. But if we wearing that, if we got that same jersey on, we all got a common goal, which is to win. And if that's not the case, then you don't need to be on this team. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I would carry it. You know, if I'm a coach or if I had a team or anything. Listen, everybody don't got to like each other. Everybody don't like their coworkers. You know what I'm saying? You go to work, there's some people you can't stand. You know what I'm saying? And no matter where you work, that's going to be the case. There's going to be some cats you just do not like, man. No matter what. But the point is, we have to get the job done so we can go home. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the job done so we can go home. You know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean? Get paid and go home. You know, we don't got to like each other like that. We don't even got to talk like that. But let's just get this job done. You know what I mean? So we don't have no issues, man. So, and that's how it should be on the team, man. And at the end of the day, in the pros, you spending more time with them than your own actual family. So y'all gonna have to figure out a way to get along. Y'all gonna have to figure out a way to coexist. That's what I mean. When you're an adult, that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Forget the feelings. We here trying to win. So, you know, that's how I would carry that with my players. Like, hey, y'all, I get it. Everybody might not be feeling each other like that. That's fine. But we all grown men here. Just like everybody don't agree with everything you say, everybody just not gonna like you. It's fine. That's life. Everybody not gonna like you. But we trying to win a championship. That means everybody put their childish egos to the side and let's win. Let's win. Okay? Everybody don't gotta hang out and have drinks afterwards. You're gonna have some players that's cool with each other like that and some that's not. And that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay, you know? Dennis Rodman is a prime example of that. Dennis Rodman came to work. He wasn't trying to be cool like that. He came to work. Dennis Rodman did what Dennis Rodman did, but guess what? They knew he was gonna come to work though. You know what I'm saying? Dennis Rodman wasn't intimidated by the stuff Jordan was doing. He came to work regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, so it is what it is, and Jordan respected that. Jordan respected that. You never heard Michael Jordan say anything bad about Dennis Rodman, ever. So I mean, you know, he knew he was coming to work. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. None personal, all business. It's all good. You know what I mean? It's okay to have a relationship like that, especially when you're on a team with somebody. But yeah, Kyrie, I think, you know, also on the objective side of things, is a better basketball player than Allen Iverson, but that don't take away from how great AI was. AI was the championship, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, in a sense, I almost feel like AI underachieved a little bit. I feel like he should have did more winning, you know what I'm saying? Like, but, you know, it is what it is. I felt like that Nuggets team should have did something. I was very upset about that team, but there was problems on that team. But that Nuggets team with Kenyon Martin, J.R. Smith, Marcus Camby, Melo, man, I felt like that team right there should have went, man, listen, I'm like, but I think they was missing a true point guard over there. Who's their point guard? Was it Anthony Johnson or something? I gotta look, but they needed a real point guard over there. I felt like they had a real point guard running the ship over there. Like if they would have had Chauncey Billups over there, they'd won the championship. I think that Nuggets team, if they would have had Chauncey, well, we had Chauncey, so forget all that. But if they would have had Chauncey over there, they'd have won a championship because Chauncey would have galvanized the troops. Chauncey is an amazing leader. He's an amazing leader. There is no ifs, ands, buts, and maybes about that. He's an amazing leader. So he would have had him, George Karl would have leaned on him to kind of, because it's okay to lean on certain players to kind of bring the troops in, it's okay. That's what your point guard for. He an extension of the coach. You know what I mean? And that's why I say, Kyrie and Allen Iverson is not extensions of the coach. They are assassins. They're not extensions of the coach. You need a point guard with them too. You know what I'm saying? You need a point guard with them too. So it is what it is, man. But, that's the basketball talk for the day here. But I do think Kyrie is better than AI, but they both is cold players. Salute to the great Allen Iverson, Hall of Fame, all world. He had a shoe that competed with Jordan as well. I think it was the questions, okay? To the point where Jordan was getting heated that people was wearing them shoes. You know what I'm saying? So he threatened Jordan at one point with his shoes, man. All right? And Kyrie, had a great finals moment. He's still active now, but I think he's on the down slope right now towards ACL and everything. So we'll see how he turned out now. But Kyrie is more so on the backside of his career. So I think we've seen the best of Kyrie. I hope not. I hope he still do what he do. But I think we've seen the best of Kyrie, you know what I'm saying, when he was with Cleveland personally, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, maybe not. Hopefully he he continue on with this, you know what I'm saying? So, and continue to be great, man. But salute to both players. Both players is fire all-world Hall of Fame. And they both, AI is already in the Hall of Fame, and Kyrie is pretty much guaranteed to be in the Hall of Fame. So salute to both players. It's just a discussion. It's just opinions. That's all, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the content. Really appreciate it from everybody. Peace!